Mike and I went through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Royal Blue Wizard was there for quite a bit as well. But don't worry, you'll see some of these things.
And I thought I was going to be one of the nicer Game Master people, but Royal Blue Wizard told me, I really hope I'm not in your group for the next Kusogrand3.
Oh boy. So it looks like...
even Toaster was there for a lot of it too. And there were definitely some real gems. And some real turds.
So it looks like our fourth player actually deleted them from the server just now, so... Or maybe Discord's just being dumb. But... Did we scare somebody else off?
Maybe. I don't see them on this server.
No, I still see them on the server. Okay, it was a lie.
Oh, well, I don't see them in our group, so maybe he only deleted himself from the group.
Oh, yeah, he might have. I don't know. Discord's been dumb. Everybody, give Discord a swift boot to the head, okay? Swift, don't take too long to do it, okay? Well, at least our chat is working, Mike. I'm glad for that. Yeah, just so you know, I did check. They're showing up on shared server for me as well as in the group. So, I think that it's fine. I think that they're still able to be around. Well, no, like, not right at the moment, but, you know, they're still in the group. It's just being dumb. Okay, it looks like Smitty may be able to do audio for us. Nice. Sweet. Okay, I believe we have our answer. And Faizu better be joining us for commentary so that he can give us live expressions about his joy that comes with Last Battle.
So I'm going to say this. A little spoiler, the Indiana Jones game is a lot faster than Last Battle. Lot faster. Although I will say this, I think I played that game a little bit and the controls are total butt, so I will say that Last Battle has better controls. Because the controls, well, they aren't really the problem.
There'll be stuff. Okay, so it looks like we have everybody streaming. I'm just working on getting Faizu captured, and then we'll be good to go after that. Looks like he was busy playing some Indiana Jones. Mike, that was not...
So Smitty is providing the audio, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Hello?
Hello, I hear Faizu.
Oh, okay. That's good. That means Discord's actually working for a change.
And Smitty said he muted his microphone, so you should be able to do audio for him right now.
Perfect. Well, luckily, I'm just about ready to test audio, so that's going to be perfect. Goodbye, my dear Katamari, and now everybody get excited to hear some stuff. Okay, Last Battle. Let's hear how it sounds.
Ooh, I hear the title screen flash. So if you look at the date, it's 1989, which means this was, if not a launch title, it was at least released during the launch year. So this is pre-Sonic Genesis. And the game gives you a total lore dump in the intro screen, as people can see on the Sencha screen, where the game just piles the lore on you. It's actually the plot of the entire game. So if you really cared about it, about how they reappropriated the Fist of the North Star plot for a crappy American game, sure. Exactly, Dana. Words.
So many words. Okay, I'm just listening to see if I can hear any of the game. I don't know if there's any audio during the giant scroll.
No, there is not. There is no music during the giant squid.
Okay, so be scared, everyone, because we might get really loud music in a second.
And yes, Wolf, this is the game we were playing at RPG in the break.
I think that's
And
going to be good.
And you are correct to have a bad feeling about this. The one thing that I will say is that the game actually looks pretty good.
I have a horrible feeling I may have played this many, many years ago. I don't remember it. The name just rings a bell.
Yeah,
We'll find out,
go.
I guess.
Yeah.
I need to find you, Faizu. I once was... You know what? I should just, like, add you as a, like, admin because we have to do this every single time.
Corndan, A, I like Altered Beast. It's not the greatest game ever, but it's fun for what it is. And B, yeah, that kind of... That's actually not a terrible way to sum up this game. But, did you tell racers not to listen? Because I will be revealing something about the game in this comparison to Altered Beast.
Please mute the game. Please do not listen to me. If you are still listening, then you're ugly. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Gosh.
I know. I'm kind of...
Okay. So imagine Altered Beast if you walked at like half the speed, and you can... The maps and stages are non-linear, so you can kind of go wherever you want, except you also have to hit specific triggers to trigger dungeons and bosses. Oh, and by the way, the manual doesn't tell you that you have to do this, except in very vague, when it's going over the dungeon screen saying, to enter a labyrinth, you must satisfy the conditions of the chapter. If the entrance to the labyrinth is locked, visit a new area to earn more points and power, and then return to the labyrinth entrance for another try. So it implies that you need, like, to power up for it, but you really just need to hit a specific trigger.
All right, I'm checking with them to see if they are all good. Claire is ready. Smipty, yes. Essentia says yes. Faizu, are you ready?
No? Sure, why not?
Okay. Yeah, go have fun. Wish them the best of luck because they are playing this game for 1 hour, and you will see how beautiful this can become. As soon as I see movement on the first stream, I will start our timer. Oh, geez, I forgot to resize Essentia's name. Wow. Okay.
I'm absolutely going to forget that continue code, but that's fine. I'm
Well,
irrelevant.
that's why I post in Discord right now. So it is public knowledge, so you can post a continue code if you want. This game is absolutely unbearable without the continue code. It's pretty unbearable even with it. So, as you can see, you move very, very slowly in this game. Like cartoonishly slow.
His kick is so good, though.
Speed it up, but it's only in a certain area. And I will explain that once the players get to a certain area. And now Smapety is confused on the overall map screen because he's like, what? I have to hit buttons and stuff?
Oh boy, we get to see our first boss now.
Yep, and the boss is just totally zoning him out. The way you deal with this boss is that you bait out his attacks and then you punch him. Now, this might sound like the strat for most of the bosses in this game, but that's actually not true, because for most bosses, you want to fight them powered up. And it looks like Smapety is going to be her first death. And
yeah, in just a little bit.
going to reveal a factoid about this game. Oh, wait, he's actually pretty close, so... Okay, so... Game over. You have 1 life, and that's it. And because he didn't beat a chapter... He has to start from the beginning.
Yeah, welcome to this game. So yep. 1 life. That's it.
Now the one-on-one sections do seem interesting until you realize this is pre-Street Fighter 2, so there's no blocking, there's no special moves, there's just your crappy little attacks, and your reward for beating it is that you get some of your health restored, but not all of it.
Okay, it looks like Essentia's actually doing pretty good. Claire may be finishing the boss right now as well.
Yeah.
Faizu
And
doesn't
Claire beat
count,
the
but
boss.
that's cool.
So Claire is currently in first because she's made the most progress.
Nice. I think Essentia's gonna do that in just a little bit as well. There goes the boss. He's gonna get all bloaty and stuff and then explode.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
This is a port of the Japanese Hokuto no Ken 2, or Fist of the North Star 2. And the main differences are when you punch enemies, their heads don't explode. So you don't get to see that sweet decapitation, bloody effect. Also, the bosses are horribly discolored. I don't know if this is a rights issue or they just made them horribly discolored because they're supposed to be aliens and it's America or something and we're afraid of anime.
I mean, I'm afraid of anime, so
yeah,
I can dig that.
This dialogue is
the funny
awful.
The funny thing about the dialogue, it's properly translated. It's just the Japanese version. It's really short and stupid.
Oh, by the way, yeah, it looks like we're on to our first dungeon with Smipty and Pfizer.
So this is the one optional dungeon in the game. And dungeons are the only places where you can reliably recover health without having to beat a stage. Because these garages you go into, for whatever reason, whenever you hit an enemy, you restore some health. And you can actually exploit this a bit, which the racers don't know, is that if you go up a floor, then go back down a floor, then the garage portions will refresh and you'll be able to repeat them if you need health. I don't even know if they'll get far enough to be able to use those exploits. The other thing is, this is the one stage where you can move faster, and you're going to get a tip over the other racers, Faizu. So if you want to know how to move faster in the dungeons...
Sure, why not? I want to show off more of this amazing dialogue.
You do a neutral jump, so don't hit any directions when you jump, and then you hold a direction. And you'll be like, wow, this speed is bearable.
I see what you mean.
And you might be like, why didn't I try this in other stages? Well, if you try in other stages, it just doesn't work. So it only works in these stages because this game is stupid.
It's so good, Faizu. Okay, Essentia is on to the first dungeon. It looks like she's getting health back.
Yeah.
Claire may have died in the dungeon, I believe.
Yeah, so Essentia's kind of in... Yeah, Claire definitely died. Essentia is kind of in the best condition in the dungeon. Even though her health is super low, she can recover it from beating up all those enemies. And she has the highest power. And you want to get to that first dot on the power so you can power up. Because one thing that I didn't tell them is that powering up is actually necessary to kill the boss, or else you won't be able to jump over his fireball and it'll take over half your health.
It's like,
because when you're powered up, you do more damage, you take less damage, and you jump higher.
It's like energizing, except it's actually worthwhile. Okay.
It is all in the manual, but the manual doesn't really explain things that well.
Essentia took a death by trying to jump over a dagger. It's so dumb.
I mean, I will...
It is really dumb.
I will say they have an advantage over me. They've probably read the manual. I kind of just got here, so...
I mean, I did post the manual both in chat and in the Discord.
Well, that would require me to read things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or, like, have more than 5 minutes to get ready.
Something like that.
Yeah, so far, though, you're doing pretty well. Smipty is not doing too terrible either. The thing is...
but now he's dealing with the gas
he's gonna
leaks,
die.
which are really hard to dodge, especially if you don't know about the neutral jump, which, why would you? Because you've been walking this slowly the entire time. I wonder if any of the players will figure out the neutral jump, because it's not intuitive at all. I think Claire just did it and just is wondering what she just did.
Oh, geez, yeah, Smipty is trying to do this jump. Oh, Smipty saw that he got a long jump. Okay, he's figuring it out.
And Pfizer got axed.
Yeah.
He figured out the jump. That's going to give him a big advantage in these dungeons, especially since they're necessary.
Well, he's dead.
Later in the game, except he died.
That's okay. He's going to try it on the level, okay? He's going to try jumping.
Yeah.
Let's see if it worked. Oh, come on. Do the fast jump.
Yeah, he's going to try it in the level, and he's going to be very sad.
He's not trying it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So just for reference, every enemy in the stages, aside from the bosses, just dies in one hit. However, they get way more annoying and aggressive later in the game.
Okay, Essentia taking on the green guy again. It looks like she decided to go on the same path. That's fine. I
think Smakey got furthest in the dungeon, which would technically mean that he's closest to the boss. Although anyone who makes it to the boss first and takes off the most health of the boss will be ahead. Now, I thought maybe players were gonna make it to the 3rd chapter, but maybe they'll be able to make it to the 2nd chapter.
Maybe. Do you have to fight any of these, like, sub-bosses here? Like, what
no,
Essentia's fighting?
Technically, you don't. The first stage is the only stage that doesn't have any triggers that you need to go through. You can technically go straight to the boss, but if you do that, you won't have enough power to actually beat him. Oh, and this is a fun boss. So...
I love this guy. He's just pure evil.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Smitty.
And when he spits out, and when he has that wavy spit, he's invincible.
Wow. Oh, by the way, thank you, Sedir, for subbing. Yeah, don't worry. You know, just it's not a big deal in chat if something was said before. So yeah,
really
you're not being mean, chat. You're being cool.
The best part about that anime was the butt-tastic 80s or 90s theme Tough Boy, which I will link in chat. But there's a reason why, like, Japan or even anyone really just doesn't acknowledge it. It's just bad.
You know what? It looks okay to me. Oh, Claire dying to the flames as well. Okay, Essentia appears to be starting the game over, as well as Claire. It's gonna be a little while before we see anybody make it to the boss, I presume.
Essentia is saying that the continue code is not working for her, which I assume is because she hasn't actually made it to Chapter 2?
That is correct. You have to make it to Chapter 2 for the continue code to work. And no one's even near Chapter 2 at this point.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I have Discord open. I just figured I would point that out to you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fine for us to add that clarification. So thank you, Cadis. Thank you, Mike, for clarifying that as well. I'm sure she's going to be happy about that answer.
Yeah. She's probably going, what have I done with my life?
So, Faizu, what are your initial reactions, okay? You're just about 10 minutes into this game. How is it feeling for you?
It's better than young Indiana Jones?
That would be true, probably.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as fast, though.
No, but it's also not nearly as painful. This feels like a nice reprieve from that particular brand of horror.
That's true.
This is not a good game in any way, shape, or form. But I am really enjoying the terrible dialogue. And some of the... Also, the kick animation, which sends enemies flying off the screen.
Oh, it's so good.
So that green guy who explodes is like the first, like,
Essentia's going to
unmemorable villain.
This fat guy.
Oh, the fat guy.
Yeah.
So the fat guy is actually patterned. If you know where he's going to throw his balls, you can react appropriately. But it's such a convoluted pattern that you're not gonna. It's gonna take at least a couple tries to get around it.
Oh boy.
Let's see how she deals with it. She got spit on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just. He's being nice. He's not throwing balls though. Oh, the combo!
Oh yeah, I feel bad because like everybody is going to have that happen to them if they go to that boss. Yeah. It's just what he does. Honestly, fighting the other guy is probably the best idea. Don't worry about green guy with the giant orbs.
Yeah, so the most efficient routing would actually be to loop all the way around the dungeon because the dungeon's so long if you're doing a speed run. But for a blind playthrough, I would just recommend doing a couple stages and going through the dungeon to get your power up. Because even though no one's beat the dungeon yet, your power up when you get through the dungeon, and this is true for every dungeon if I'm remembering correctly, is that you get all of your health restored.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
And not only that, but it gives you a good chance to start powering up in here. Which Smipty may or may not know about powering up, depending on how much of the manual he read, but it's going to be super helpful.
Kind of want to punch whoever came up with
I did give them the manual, so it's definitely not on me. But it's probably, well, let's just say my back... Smipty got comboed, so when you're in between two objects that can hurt you, you can actually get stuck in a combo until you land and can possibly kick it, and he just got knifed a bunch, basically.
Oh, Faizu is starting to get really low on life. Claire as well, Smipty as well. Yeah. Everybody almost dead. Looks like
whoever decided to make this dungeon a maze needs to suffer.
Essentia to the dungeon.
The mazes get worse, by the way.
Yeah, this one, it's not overly complex. I just wish it didn't exist because of the slow movement and the incredibly unintuitive way of dealing with a lot of the things that come at you. Like the axes that spin across the screen. You can't actually...
Those axes are pretty great.
If you crouch...
Are in other dungeons.
If you crouch and attack, you don't actually hit them. You have to be doing a standing attack to hit the ones that are at your knees.
Essentia.
Which is just so unintuitive.
So it is incredibly unintuitive.
It looks like Essentia has... She's managed to do some of the fast hops, but I don't think she's realized that they're quick hops.
Yeah, I also don't think she realizes that you can actually just kick the boulders.
Yeah, she kept trying to jump over the boulder, which it worked. Daggers you can kick as well.
Oh, now I'm going to highlight some of the inaccuracies.
Some inaccuracies? What?
Mike appears to have dropped out of chat.
Goodbye, Mike. We'll miss you.
I will say I did many, many years ago read the Fist of the North Star manga translated. I can remember almost nothing about it except that it had a lot of people exploding. I suspect that's what Mike was going to talk about, was inaccuracies between this and the thing it's based on.
Well, to be fair... Yeah, the Japanese version did have a lot of people exploding. Oh, Essentia is falling pretty far. Okay, she's down in the basement of the dungeon. Just gotta watch out for these spears.
What's the matter? I want to become a hero.
That's what's the matter. He's like, I know what I'm facing in the future of my life, you know? It's gonna be... terrifying. Oh, geez. Okay. So Smipty is onto the dungeon as well. Smipty taking liberal use of the jumping there. Very nice. I do like the dungeon music, though, okay? It's pretty good. It's very electro-farty, but it's good.
Well, there's nothing wrong with electro farts.
Oh, no.
Everyone likes electro farts. They're the best part of Genesis games.
So good. Okay, it's fire time for Essentia. Oh my gosh! Okay, she got across the first pit and down into the second one. I wonder if she's going to figure out how the long jumps work, because she got across the first one using a long jump. Oh geez. Terrifying stuff. Rocks falling all over the place.
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
I can't believe you're here. Save me. I won't. Oh, yes!
Oh,
Essentia got a full heal. Mike. She's moving to the boss.
Mike has returned, I think.
Yes. Okay, it looks like Mike kind of returned. Oh, and there goes Essentia. That is a death, but she made it to the boss of the chapter. Okay, so that puts her in a solid lead at this point. The thing that she'll have to figure out is how to actually deal damage to the boss, which means powering up. The power meter is super important at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, so Discord just decided
Mike's
to
back.
boot me. And Essentia's in the lead because she made it to the boss.
Yes.
The problem is she wasn't powered up for the boss, which is why I gave people the manual so they could know that powering up is a thing and it exists, and they really need to do it, or else the boss will just destroy them like that.
Yeah, it looks like Smipty also got a pretty good combo. If somebody wants to clip that, that would be cool so that we can go back and watch it later. Combos are good. I love combos.
Anyway, I was going to point out some inaccuracies in the manual right before I logged off. And you know, so let's go over some. To jump upwards, press button C, which is correct. To jump higher, press the D button up and press button C at the same time. As far as I know, this doesn't work. Unless you have to hit them at exactly the same time, which I have not tried. And it says, to kick your opponent, press button B. Again, that's accurate. To jump in the air and perform a scissor kick, press buttons B and C simultaneously. This is completely unnecessary. You just hit B when you're in the air. So, like, I don't know if it's a bad translation or whoever is writing the manual is just not a native English speaker.
I'm trying some of these things. They don't seem to be working.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last battle for you, everyone.
Okay, right, lies.
Yep.
The start button begins play, pause play, release pause, locate status window. Okay.
Yeah, here's another good one. When the status screen appears, push the start button. When what they really mean to say is, push the start button to make the status screen appear.
Well, just got the order wrong there, but otherwise 100% correct, Mike. Yeah, this is definitely a game. Oh, yeah?
Had you not said that after?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit. What was that? Are you still here, Faizu?
I'm still here.
Okay,
Can you
yeah.
hear me?
I can hear you now. Discord's being dumb. More like...
Now, if everyone's super struggling by the half-hour mark or something, I might tell them to look at the power-up section of the manual, and that's really important, because we don't want them to be stuck forever. We just want them to have to experience.
Yeah, I'd say there is a whole section about power-up, but if you let everybody know at the same time, I think that's completely fine.
But we'll see.
Arzak, save the world! Okay.
I know, right?
I want to save the world. Watch out for those rocks, Essentia. Okay, that's okay.
I mean, in the Japanese version, it's just Kenshiro, save the world, or, you know, Japanese equivalent. And he's like, I am the only one who can save the world.
Well, good.
It's good to know that video game dialogue has improved since this released.
Yeah.
Well, mostly.
Yeah.
You know, they should have just translated it to say whatever they wanted. Like, hey, you got a pimple on your face. And he's like, oh no, pimples increase. And then just... Oh, and there goes Essentia.
I'm a little behind you, so I'm just about to see it. Oh, the axe combos.
Yeah.
The axes in the dungeon by any chance?
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
What other axes would there be?
Those things are the worst.
Oh, Smithy almost got comboed.
You haven't experienced the dust over the pits. But you're probably not going to get there, to be fair.
Let's hope not.
Yes. So Smapety's really struggling and doesn't realize that you can just kick those or hit those knives.
I don't know if anybody noticed or realized that. That's one of the first thing I tried. I was like, there's this stupid thing in my way. Can I kick it? And then I could.
Yeah. I mean, you're Kenshiro.
You can kick pretty much
you're
everything.
The savior, so you can just hit it.
You can also kick the axes.
Now, I'm not going to tell any of the racers.
Hit it.
Yeah, don't tell them.
Exactly.
Whoa, Faizu!
I think everyone's applying platformer thinking to a game that's essentially a side-scrolling beat'em.
Okay, Essentia has beaten the boss. Mike, what I would say is that if at the half-hour mark one person has figured out the power-up, then don't tell people.
I agree.
Because then, you know, one person has figured it out.
But that's just
on
the
their
first sub-boss, you know, that in Fist of the North Star 2, he just appears as a bad guy, and then I think Kenshiro rises from the grave, or it's right after he rises from the grave, and he's like, "Oh, you're just fodder for me to beat up." Bam, 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 boom.
Honestly, Essencha's doing pretty darn good on this game.
Yeah, she is actually. And her power meter is actually pretty high. So if she goes into the dungeon this time and makes it out, she will actually likely be powered up for the boss.
Oh yeah. By the way, yeah, everybody in chat, be sure to keep things positive. Be sure to cheer for people. They love to see the excitement that you have here. Yeah, don't hesitate to congratulate people when something happens, like Faizu just punching that pimple man.
Yeah.
Good job, Faizu.
Not blood, but yellow spray paint. Okay, well, Claire is realizing that you can kick the knives. Which
nice.
is honestly very helpful.
Oh, yeah.
And she realized you can kick the axes, so she's doing a lot better in these dungeons now.
Yeah, I figured this out pretty quickly, but that hasn't been helping me at all.
well, the thing is, even if you know stuff, you can just get comboed by cheap hits in this game. Like,
yeah,
but basically, to beat this game, you reliably, you kind of have to do a one-life playthrough because of how the power-up system works. Because when you beat a chapter, you're actually a little past where you're supposed to be in the power-up meter for whatever reason. And so it makes it easier to power up for the next stages.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I went backwards.
But it's also, really dumb in RNG, because as you can see, the bosses are just very random from what you fought so far. And you still haven't gotten to the boss of the first stage, which was pretty great, to be fair.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy it, Faizu.
I like that you think I'm going to get that far.
And also, there's something kind of weird about this game. It's one of the few Genesis games that doesn't have a really excellent soundtrack or a really terrible electro-farty soundtrack.
They just need to try kicking. Kick the axes.
Yeah, please, kick things.
Please. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. She might live getting through this, but it's getting really low.
It's not super likely.
Yeah, not only that, but it seems like she accidentally keeps skipping the garages.
Yeah, that's really bad. Because those are your only way to recover health.
It might not be accidental. It might be on purpose.
Now, not all of those doors are garages. But a lot of them in the beginning are, at least. Are you getting boulder comboed? Okay.
I got boulder comboed and then I died in a garage.
And there we go. Axe to the back of the head for Essencha. Looks like Claire is past the first level. So Essencha's still
in first. What's less clear is who's in second. And it's basically whoever has gotten farther through the dungeon, because neither one has beaten the green guy, which would get them closer to the boss. And the dungeon is the closest point to the boss where they've been. But I'm not sure if Essencha hit the boss, so if they just got one hit in the boss.
I think she did 1 or 2 hits, but that's it.
Oh, it looks like Smaifty is going to power up. Okay.
Nice.
He powered up, which means I don't have to tell anyone anything, and I can just be as cruel as I want to be.
Yep.
You can sit back and laugh at everybody.
Yeah, and you can laugh at the really funny punching animation. So as you can see, your attack hitbox is way better, and the jump kick is really good. The problem is that you can still get hit, and he's really super low.
Oh!
And he got murked in the face.
Yeah. I would still say that since Essencha made it to the boss, technically that's more progress, even though she didn't power up.
Oh yeah, I'm not judging on power up. I'm judging on how far they made it.
Okay, cool.
And there's actually a good chance that no one will make it to Chapter 2, which means no one will ever be able to make use of the continue code. I mean, to be fair, when I beat this game a while ago, back when I actually knew the paths and stuff, it took me roughly 50 minutes to an hour to beat, not speedrunning it or anything.
Yeah.
Speedrunning this game would be very boring and very stupid.
You know you want to do it.
Nope.
No. Okay, Smaifty versus Green Guy. I don't know. Like, I think that once you learn all the crap with this game, you can usually deal with it pretty easily.
Yeah, that is true.
The problem right now seems to be that a lot of it seems kind of RNG heavy, and that can just work against you really badly.
The bosses are pretty RNG heavy. The axe patterns, as far as I can tell, are RNG. However, the boulders and where they spawn aren't RNG. But the arrows and axes, I'm pretty convinced are RNG.
The axes definitely seem to be.
Yeah. What Claire is learning here as well is that you generally don't want to duck and kick an axe. Duck and punch.
Duck and punch, or just do the kick. Because the kick has a really good hitbox, except its range is a little short. Uh-oh.
I think Essentia may be able to get through the dungeon this time, but still nowhere close to powering up.
Please hit things. Please hit things, Essentia, please. Although she's doing a really good job of dodging the knives. So I have to give her credit for that.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure she's actually going through the garage doors.
I haven't seen her do any of the garages. It looks like she's trying to spawn the axes one by one.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. The only problem is that's agonizingly slow.
Oh, yeah.
And axes can spawn really fast. Okay,
I will say it is. Oh, carry on, sorry.
Oh, Smapty is in the dungeon. He has a good amount of health. And he's trying. Oh, no, he got comboed by the boulders.
Well, that's okay, because...
But he still got inside the garage door, which does recover a fair amount of health.
Oh, Claire taking a death there. Yeah, and he's pretty close to powering up.
Yeah. So he's figuring out what he needs to do is power up. Now here's the thing. I'm pretty sure even powered up, the first boss is going to own him. And here's another thing that I didn't tell them. So one of the kind of signature moves in the anime is the Hyakuretsuken, which roughly translates to the 100 crack fist. Or the 100 splitting fist.
Yes.
And it's kind of Kenshiro's infamous move that you've probably seen even if you're not familiar with the show, where he goes, what the? And the reason why I'm mentioning this is that to kill any main boss in the game, you have to punch them. You can lower their health as much as you want, but until you do a ground punch, they won't die.
I'm gonna go through and refresh people's streams. It looks like we've had buffering on a few of them up till now, so might as well refresh them all.
Seems like the
Which job of this?
I guess so. I have no idea what the English play. I've only
Neither do I, but considering really bad.
It gets very special. Yes, exactly. I mean, it was the same era where Nausicaa was like really heavily edited and butchered, and then Studio Ghibli didn't work with Western studios for like 10 plus years, and then he said no cuts for Princess Mononoke. Oh no. Yeah, Smapty's getting comboed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he does know the jump, and that's fortunate.
Yeah, that's huge.
What he probably doesn't know is that he's actually supposed to fall down in one of those pits, and I can't remember which one it is.
Wow.
So he's just going to end up being in a dead end, going through all this trouble to get through the gas leaks.
It's right there.
And probably really mad, because that's what this game does. So, funny thing about this game, as much as I love Koal, he thought this game was not bad enough for Kuso.
Yeah, Koal is
Smapty.
Yeah, exactly.
Smapty is through the level and onto.
Oh, he got through. He's at
boss.
full health, and he's gonna the boss.
It looks like Essentia's computer is having issues. That's why.
It looks like Mike's dropped out of Discord again as well.
Mike! Smapty is dead! Game over!
Get a hit on the boss. If he got a hit on the boss, then I think Mike was saying that means he's in the lead. feeling I'm just
I don't
retracing
think
my
he
steps
got a
again.
hit. I don't think he got any hits.
I am retracing my steps again.
And I don't think Essentia got a hit in either. So it's Essentia first, Safety second, Claire third. And Faizu just suffering.
I'm irrelevant. It's been said before that I just don't matter.
Okay, I'm letting Ascension know. Do what she needs. If we need to give a little extra time in order to make up for computer issues, we could do that.
Yeah.
If she's going,
I'm sure she will not want to make up the time, but we'll give it to her anyways.
I keep trying to offer time to people, but nobody wants it, Mike. What's wrong with people?
I know.
Okay, she's gonna work on getting it ready. Or getting it working again.
I didn't get my 3 minutes in Subterranea.
Did you want it?
Not that was any of your faults.
Well,
but
you can just switch
I
to Subterranea right now, Feis.
I can, because that's how little I matter in terms of this race.
Well, no, don't switch, Faizu. Just keep playing.
Yeah.
What I was going to say before was, it's kind of interesting playing this alongside the commentary and hearing what other people are doing, the things that they're discovering or not trying. Like things like kicking the daggers and the axes and so on, when everybody's discovering that. It's just kind of an interesting facet, playing alongside and being able to hear, oh, they haven't tried this, oh, they've tried this. It's just one of those weird, interesting little quirks of multiple people playing at the same time, which you don't get when you're actually racing.
Oh, yeah. Like, I do love watching people race when they know the game well, because you can see some subtle differences, but most of the time it's going to be doing the same things. Just someone is successful at some things and someone successful at other things. But here, yeah, they have no idea. They're going into this just having to figure out by the seat of their pants what you can do.
This game is very obtuse.
This game kind of feels like they had an engine to start with, and then they just kind of made up the mechanics to go along with it.
Yep. That sounds about right. You haven't even gotten to Chapter 2, where you have to go all the way to the right and then backtrack again to the left, and then that opens up a dungeon. And also has one of the easiest bosses in the game. And then Chapter 3, which has a boss that can clone himself if you punch him at the wrong time.
Amazing. That sounds like something I really don't want to reach.
And then Chapter 4 is just this cluster of like 4 or 5 triggers that you have to hit along the way, and unless you have an FAQ, like, you are not going to figure it out for the first time.
How many chapters are there? Just 4, or I say just 4?
Yeah, there's 4 chapters, but each chapter is longer than the last.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yeah. Okay.
Just 4, quote unquote.
Just 4.
Ascension's
so
taking down the stream, gonna be...
So Smapty has the right mindset. He's going in the dungeon, and he's almost powered up. He's powered up, which is very good.
Nice.
Getting the help from the garages. So if he makes it to the boss, he'll probably be able to get a hit in the boss, and if he gets 1 hit in the boss, he's in first.
Yeah.
Which I think will happen. I have faith that he can get 1 hit in the boss. Please don't make me... that faith is misplaced.
Come on, Smapty, get to the boss. Come on, everybody get to the boss.
Yeah.
I'd like to get to this infamous boss.
So technically,
Someday.
this chapter is like the first 3 or 4 episodes of Fist of the North Star 2. You fight. What they did for Fist of the North Star 2 is that they had this very complete story for Fist of the North Star 1. They had the North Star and the South Star. You'd say the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. And then, you know, there was this whole mythology around it. And then at the beginning of Fist of the North Star 2, they're like, you knew the North Star and the South Star, but there's another star. And then you're like, I really didn't need to know this, and I really don't care either.
Isn't there, I might be mistaken on this, isn't there another series coming out which is set in like World War II era Japan?
What, for Fist of the North Star?
Yeah.
I have no clue. They have actually remade it a bunch of times. And every time they've remade it, they have not included the second series because everyone hates it. Or no one cares about it. I haven't really looked up the Japanese reactions to it, but basically, like, the first part is like, I think it was on a list of 100 top anime and manga in Japan. It was like number 25 out of 100. And then the second one, like, no one cares about.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I was gonna say Faizu learned to kick axes, but I guess he already learned that.
I learned that a while ago. Axes are there to be kicked. But then again, we were discussing this before, weren't we, when you were playing Unworthy? That you don't actually know what an axe is, do you?
Oh my gosh, Snape D!
Oh, he got a hit! He got a hit!
Snape D has hit the boss. Moving into first place.
He hit 4 times in a row on the boss because he was trying to get around the attack.
Well, yeah, still hasn't beaten the boss, but...
He is definitively in first.
Yes.
So the boss has a pattern. He will always throw a fireball first, then he'll always do that close range fist attack, which you just want to walk away from, and not try to cross up the boss like that. I've never seen that happen, because I've never tried that. You will actually... Attack has such a huge hitbox. Like, it's bigger than the attack. That you don't want to mess around with it. And then he'll fire another fireball.
So I'm thinking Essentia is still not live. She may be restarting the computer, which I gave that computer to Essentia years ago, and it was already years old, so...
Oh, I'm sorry for Essentia. Well, maybe not, because then it means she doesn't have to play this game.
That is a mercy.
Visor, there's all the axes! Okay, you're okay for now.
So many axes. Oh, I haven't been here before. This seems good.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the dungeons, as long as you fumble around and fall or rise up random places, you'll eventually fumble your way into where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, you just lose a lot of health doing that, and I'm not paying enough attention to remember kind of the directions I've already gone.
Oh boy. Do we really have to have another fart wall, though, Faizu?
Apparently so.
Wait, what's fart wall, though?
Well, fart wall's from Tintin, and considering that this wall is also farting.
Oh, yeah. So what's funny is that even though the music is just completely unmemorable, the game has a ton of farty sound effects. That's why they focused all the electro farts.
Oh my god, I made it through the dungeon. I'm so pleased.
Okay, well, you didn't actually go to the boss.
Yeah,
so you just
I know.
diverted yourself.
That's
But that's actually a good thing because you're not powered up.
Exactly.
You might power up if you kill all the enemies in the stage, though.
I want to give myself a chance at the boss, at least, by powering up.
Oh, Essentia...
I mean, since nothing I do matters, so... Essentia?
She's feeling really sick right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did mention that earlier.
Okay, so I'm letting her know she can go ahead and take a break from this. Honestly, you know, if people are feeling sick and just can't.
So Faizu, I'm gonna tell you something. If you go back to the dungeon, you won't have to complete it again. If that's what you're wondering.
Oh my god. That's...
I'm pretty sure about that.
let's find out.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. This is.
And then you can just repeat those 2 screens again until you power up.
That's what I was gonna say. I was just looking at the map, thinking, I don't want to go to any of these areas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you really don't want to go to the bottom left area. That boss will just kill you.
I've visited there already.
Okay, so yeah, it's confirmed. Essentia's gonna go ahead and step away because of feeling sick. And yeah, I know, I saw earlier she said that she was feeling ill, so I'm glad that she was able to show up and do what she could. This does open up the chance for Claire to pass her up. You know,
it does.
Just saying.
She would have to make it to the boss and land one hit on the boss.
Yes.
Who's this guy named Solia from the anime? It's from some school called Gento Koken, which is like, oh yeah, it's like the original Dipper Royal or Imperial Fist. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking right now, generally, if people rage quit or quit before the time, we consider it a forfeit. In this case, because of illness as well as computer issues, I'm fine not considering it exactly a forfeit. So we'll see how Claire's able to do. Top left. Well,
right, Faizu is actually learning the trick to this boss, which is let him jump into your attacks.
Nice. Faizu, you're doing pretty good.
The problem is that
never mind.
He got fisted.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I'm pleased with how that went, but yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, so this is the first chapter out of 4. And there's 4 chapters, and they all get longer. So I think every player has gotten like 20-ish% of the way through the game.
Yeah.
That's actually longer than, or further than I'd have expected.
Okay, let's see. Smapey.
Oh, please, Smapey, don't run in the fist.
Be careful.
Don't run in the
Be
fist.
careful.
Don't run in the fist. Okay, he only got poked by... No, he ran in the fist! Wait!
I know, Mike! He just wants to kill the boss. He wants to kill the boss so bad. Well, nope.
Well, if he didn't run into the fist like that, he probably would have beat the boss, too. Because he was using the strat. The other strat is just jump kick the boss a lot. That works against like 90% of the bosses in this game when you're powered up. Because the jump kick when you're powered up is super good.
So it still is possible that Claire or Smipty, or I guess Faizu, could beat the boss. Faizu, we're cheering for you, man.
We are.
You guess I could beat the boss.
I guess.
So, in a strange
Your
twist
faith
of fate,
in me.
Yeah.
Akari Warrior 83 says, this game made me a Hokuto no Ken fan 20 years before I knew what that was, which is really weird because this game is really bad, and this would make me an anti-fan of Hokuto no Ken, so I'm really glad that I played this after I knew what Hokuto no Ken was, because it is an enjoyable anime and manga. And I would recommend reading it or watching it if you're into hyper-violent soap opera.
I kind of am. I like Quentin Tarantino.
I should go back and read it again, because as I said before, I think I read it 10, 15 years ago, something like that, and I haven't read it since. I should look it up again.
Yeah, I know that the stream here is usually PG-13, but I'm all for, like, heads exploding and, like, limbs flying all over the place because of a uppercut, just dismemberment, okay?
Please quote Rosentia.
Please.
I'm playing a game, I'm counting on you here.
Yeah. Oh no, Smapty's taking the shortcut route. Or the you get killed route if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh! The ball! The black balls! They're so evil. Mutant Goomba. Yeah, Plexel, I can see that it's a mutant Goomba.
It basically is a mutant Goomba. I think in the anime that guy was like a slave trader or something like that. I can't exactly remember, but he's like some kind of merchant or slave trader. And of course, Kenshiro just beats him up. And he explodes.
You've pretty much described the entire series.
I know, right? Sorry for this, 30-year-old spoilers.
Yeah, that's the spoiler for the entire series.
Sorry.
Kenshiro meets someone, and then he beats them up and they explode.
Oh, it's Guma.
Unless if they're a
Goomba.
good
Okay.
guy, and then he beats them up, and then realizes they're a good guy, and then they join forces. And then they die eventually.
Okay, let me take a look.
Oh, I know which Zelda 2 boss you're talking about. The guy who swings the ball and chain. Yeah, the big guy. Wow. So I thought someone was going to make it to Chapter 2 in this game. I don't think
the optimism.
prediction.
You were really optimistic there, Mike.
I was.
Honestly, we've always seen people perform higher than our expectations. And so, set your expectations high, Mike. We're still probably going to see some of Chapter 2.
I mean, there is always, possibly not now, but there's always the possibility that someone can essentially just have one really good run where they get through the boss and somehow make it through the entirety of the rest of the chapter.
That is true.
But with 10 minutes left or however long, maybe a bit less likely.
Yeah. I mean, it takes at least, if you're going through the dungeon, that's practically 10 minutes already to get to the boss. Well, not 10 minutes, but it's a long time.
Yeah.
Like I said, the speedrun route, you basically kill both of the sub-bosses and avoid the dungeon just because you don't want to mess with that. There's a tool-assisted speedrun in this game somewhere on YouTube that I watched years ago, and he doesn't even power up for the boss, which is just ridiculous. Yep, Grimoire remembers this game. I showed it to him in RPG Limit Break.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm trying to read it through some reviews here because it looks like graphics, these people think it's so music lackluster, gameplay, they're like, okay, here's where the game hits its largest snag. First off, game is side-scrolling 2D beat 'em up, meaning that you move from side to side horizontally, beat up enemies coming at you. Unlike other beat 'em ups though, this game does not allow you the ability to move in a 3D environment, meaning you have very limited number of things you can do to avoid or remove your enemies. It's all fine and good. Oh yeah?
Faizu. So I'm just gonna tell you what you need to do. You need to jump in that second pit past the first gas leak pit. On the left.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
Kind of figured that. I couldn't make the jump, and I can't remember how I did this before.
Well, you gotta do the neutral jump.
I have a feeling I took I took a different route this way.
Okay. So Smapety's trying an interesting strategy. He just powered up early. He just went through a bunch of stages and powered up early, but the problem is he has almost no health.
Come on, Smape D.
Come on, someone make it to Chapter 2.
Please, we need to see Chapter 2. Chapter 2, I need you. Oh my
There's
gosh.
something that tickles me about Kenshiro just dying to a rock falling on his head.
Yeah, just Dusty or Dust Motes falling on his head and killing him.
Yes. Or Arzak, or whatever he's called in this.
Yeah, Arzak.
Arzak.
I love how they just renamed the characters and told nonsense.
Oh, jeez. Well,
so,
go ahead.
Mike, are there a finite number of enemies on every level?
I think so. There's actually a sprite limit of 3 sprites on the screen, and then there's some background sprites or background layers they use from time to time for certain enemies. And the reason why I mention this is that you actually want to keep enemies on the screens in some stages, or else there'll just be so many enemies spawning and just beating you up. I mean, let me just say some things you can experience in later stages. Birds.
Oh no.
God.
No.
Flamethrowers.
Not as scary as birds.
I have to ask though, are the birds as bad as the young Indiana Jones birds?
No.
Because those things are nice.
They're really not that bad.
Then again, I suppose the birds might not be too bad in this, if only because all of Kenshiro's attacks have gigantic hitboxes.
Yep, that's exactly why. You can just can kick them away.
It's kind of the one advantage, or the one thing this has going for it.
Fortunately, Smapey has realized that you can kick away the knives.
Yes.
Oh,
You know what? I actually think that the axes do have set spawn points and a set number of them. I don't know. Because, yeah, when Essentia was going through there really slow, she only saw a certain number of axes show up.
There are points in this dungeon where it seems wiser, honestly, not to do the neutral jump, simply to keep yourself safe.
Yeah. Also, if I'm going to give you a tip in these guys, just punch them. Just punch the guys in the garage doors. Your punch is longer than your kick. That's why you're getting poked out by the spears, because you're trying to kick someone.
But the kick is so much more fun.
That's fair. I mean, it is a can kick. It's pretty fabulous.
It's fantastic.
Okay. I think Smapey is going to get at least one more chance at the boss. Because he's on the dust motes, and I think that's the last part of the stage.
Nice.
If he's on the final bit of the dust motes, then yes.
It's time for the boss. Let's see what Smapey can do.
Please don't run into the fist this time. Please don't run in the fist this time. Please don't run in the fist this time. No.
Okay, only one fist
He didn't walk
hit.
into it. He got hit, but he didn't walk into it. The problem is the boss is hitting him after every jump kick. And he's not doing the... Oh, he's learning it. He's doing...
No!
Oh
my gosh!
Kicks. He's doing crouch kicks, which is not the thing to do.
So close. So close, Smapey.
That was so close. What's funny is that he had this strat, which was to crouch and do the little punches, which is hitting him. And then he mysteriously changed to kicks, and I don't know why. Unless if Claire really manages to turn it around, I think this firmly puts Smapey in first.
Yeah, I think it'll be very difficult for Claire to move into first, but she could still move into second.
Yeah, she could. The problem is her power is not very high. And I don't think she's going to be able to power up for the boss, even if she can make it to the boss. I just don't think she's figured out that neutral jump, and that you have to jump over that pit. And I guess that neutral jump's kind of essential, because I forgot about it.
Well,
I didn't tell anyone about it. It's not in the manual as far as I know.
But yeah,
you kind of have to do it to clear the pit, which I probably should have told people about.
There is another longer way to get around that pit, which is the way that I've done it twice now.
Oh, I didn't see.
Because that pit has 4 flamethrower fault.
Oh, you damage boosts through it. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I just take the significantly longer route of going through another spear section.
I forgot about that. But yeah, it's still dumb that you can jump faster in dungeons and nowhere else.
Oh yeah.
I can only assume that's intentional rather than a bug, but...
It is. It has to be intentional, because why wouldn't it be? Because they would have to intentionally program that. They would have to intentionally program different controls or different schemes of some sort for a different area.
Because poorly coded video games is my only reaction to that, I suppose. No, I think you're right. It has to be intentional. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, it's just really weird.
We have just about 4 minutes left. Now is time to really just sort of crunch and get through this. Claire, though, unfortunately was not able to make the jump.
But yeah, and the thing is, this is probably the shortest dungeon, although I will admit that the third dungeon is pretty linear because you're mostly just going up. I don't remember the second dungeon too well. The fourth chapter dungeon I don't know. It's stupid. I mean, all the dungeons in this game are stupid. Oh, I forgot to tell you that there's also, like, dudes who come up from the ground just to hit you in the 4th chapter. There's stacks of 3 dudes who fight you in the 4th chapter. And it's really hard not to take damage.
What?
Oh, and there's also the guys who want to touch your chest. In the 3rd
Oh,
chapter.
yeah. They
guys
just
who
sort of
hop
do
around.
weird hops. Oh, I wish we could have seen those.
And they teleport. It's pretty
They,
great.
yeah, they're just
Hey, I
like,
mean-
I'm gonna touch you, I'm gonna touch you, and then they touch you and disappear.
Hey, I mean, since no one made great progress in this game, I'm sure we could use it in a future Kusogrand3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this could be something for a marathon round or something.
It's honestly
Start a
could
save
be.
state. Pick a dungeon or a boss or something like that and use it in a marathon setting.
Yeah, Cadus, if it looks like it'll matter, we can definitely give Claire an extra 30 seconds, so
Yeah,
I
but the
appreciate
problem
you
is she
thinking.
just died.
Yeah,
So it's not
I don't
gonna
think
matter.
there's gonna be time.
Oh, Smapey has one last. Oh no, it doesn't have one last try at the boss because he needs to power up like
Well,
crazy.
okay, he's going somewhere else first.
Yeah, he's probably not going to power up in time for the boss, to be honest.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so Grimoire called those guys the frauderists because frauderists are people who have like an obsession or a fetish with like touching people. Because the moment they touch you, they just run away.
I love it.
It was pretty great. You know, Grimoire getting his master's in psychology was definitely worth him telling me that.
Oh yeah. Oh geez. Smape D got poked.
You know, I feel like this is almost good design at
Yeah,
the start of the dungeon, and that's not something I'm going to say often about this
Yeah.
game. But just the fact that it gives you 2 garages right next to each other where you can fight people and recover health, it kind of gives you 2 opportunities to learn.
Oh,
that this
Smapey's
is a
going
thing
in
you-
unpowered up. He's gonna suffer.
I think that might just be down to how little time is left.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
We've
Our
got
boss just zones you out
just
if
1
you-
minute
yeah.
left. Oh geez, Claire
Seems
getting
depressing.
comboed by that sword guy just jumping. Pew, pew, pew.
So there are certain moments, like if you jump in between 2 knives that are close to each other or 2 boulders that are perfectly spaced, you will actually get infinite comboed to death.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
And also, what's really weird is that the second boss in this game is a lot easier than the first boss.
Yeah, that's
But-
strange.
I don't know if that's something to be thankful for or not. On the one
Probably
hand,
not.
an easier boss is a good and kind thing, but on the other hand, that's kind of a jerk move.
Yeah. This entire game is a jerk move. Like, you haven't even gotten to the stages where you just have to hit specific triggers to trigger events.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hit time at 1 hour.
Are you?
Exactly.
I'm sure you hit
Shoot.
it perfectly. Because
Oh
I'm
no,
not
it
one-
was anything but perfect. But
That
with that
that
said,
seemed like a bold prediction.
yeah, I know, right? The match is over. Wow, yeah, I went almost 0.2 of a second over, guys.
Oh my god.
I know, it was pretty terrible, but that's okay. What a great match.
Kenshiro would be very disappointed and would punch you in the chest at least 18 times.
What a jerk. Okay, I don't want that to happen. Okay, so
But then again, you're a good guy overall, so he wouldn't kill you at least.
oh well, that's nice. It's like I'm just gonna leave you broken.
Anyway, so it looks like here are the standings. Smapey got first, Essentia is second, and Claire is third. And well, Pfizer's a zombie, so
I'm irrelevant.
He just gets brains.
I don't matter.
No, you get brains, Faizu. Just
Do I
embrace the
the
brains.
I clearly need them because I keep signing up to do stand-ins for this.
Oh, yeah, it's okay, Faizu. Like, we'll consider brains for you later. You know, if I ever meet you, I'll be sure to bring a bag of brains. A whole bag, okay?
I'm going to hold you to this.
Okay, cool.
just to see what happens.
Well, I want you to eat them. So beware.
Anyway, if you want to know how